Hi everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. My name's Naomi Little and I work in the marketing department of Wizdom and LifeTiles. I'm joined today with Nico de Jong, one of the European-based innovation and experience leads for Wizdom and LifeTiles. Welcome, Nico.
Hi there, Naomi.
Yeah. The reason we're conducting this webinar today is that there's a lot of talk around the future of the intranet and how MS Teams fits into the equation. So we've created this webinar to help you navigate through the MS Teams jungle and to give you tips on how to bring your intranet into MS Teams with Wizdom and LifeTiles to help you optimize your platform. So let's take a quick look at the agenda before we get into the finer details of how to bring your intranet into MS Teams. You got the agenda there, Nico?
Yes, are you seeing it?
Nope.
Should I reshare the screen?
Yes, please.
There we go.
Yep, no agenda.
Maybe some of the participants can respond if they're seeing the screen, because for me it's indicated that it's...
I've got a couple saying Tim is seeing it, and the others are not seeing it. Yep, it's visible.
Good, I've just reshared it again.
Okay.
Maybe I'll just take the agenda from you then if you're not particularly seeing it.
Yeah, go for it. Please do. Yep.
And if any of the attendees are not seeing it, please note it in the chat.
Yep.
So that we can pause and I could reshare again. So yeah, for those that are seeing the agenda, on our agenda today is why bring your internet into Teams to start with, and then how to create a seamless integration between the internet and your Teams instances. I'll go into a bit of demo, and if there's any questions or answers or any questions, then please ask them in the chat, and at the end we'll go through them. There will be a recording of this. I hope, Naomi, that has been started, and this recording will be shared with everybody. So let's get started. And Naomi, interrupt me at any time if people start noticing that the screen is not being shared properly.
I will. Yep.
Yeah. So this is the second installment in a two-part series. And the last one we actually started with the same slide. Teams is hot at the moment. And Teams is used by more than 20 million users on a daily basis. And it's not really a surprise, as many users out there have a 065 license and it's included in that for free. It's clear that chat is really here to stay. Chat-based collaboration is the way forward and really adopted broadly. And to go even further than that, we hear a lot of signals from Microsoft, from executives at Microsoft as well. They're actually referring to Teams as the new operating system, as the new hub for starting your day, going through your day, which is basically accelerated by the web technology inside Teams. And also in the partner channel, it's buzzing, as it's also touted to be the biggest and best opportunity partners in Teams. And again, all of this is fantastic news, of course, but there's a few things to consider. So Microsoft Teams is the hub for collaboration. Now, in short, what Microsoft has done is they've brought together some of their existing technology and added new technology, and really took up the battle against Slack, which they've more or less won by now, and created this application that is growing faster than any application in the history of Microsoft. But this application is still very much an application targeted at collaboration. Because if we look at what Teams brings, it's actually from some desperate parts of the Microsoft ecosystem already. Chat and online meetings has been brought into Teams, and the migration has started at a lot of our customers as well, as we're sort of nearing the deadline, but it's still very much the capabilities that Skype was already offering us. Also inside Teams, you'd find your calendar in Outlook, which is synced with Outlook. For collaborating around files and folders, we have our SharePoint site that's sitting in the back. And if you go through those files, you can actually view them in the online viewer and collaborate on this, although that was possible previous to this as well. Most of the teams also come with a OneNote notebook to collaborate, and one or multiple planner boards that you can actually attach. And then of course we have a number of apps that can sit inside Teams as well. The point of this is that all of these features are great for collaboration, and users, they love this collaboration. So it's a big success with many of our customers because people just like to create their own space together with colleagues, collaborate there. And it's really spot on, but it's really for collaboration. So what about publication? And what about publications across teams? What about corporate news or events that you'd like to share with all of those people that are now very active inside Teams? What about a social network? If you have such a social network within the organization, maybe Facebook for Workplace, maybe Yammer, maybe some other social network, that's a different ecosystem all put together. And then what about notifications that could go across departments, locations, and functions? Those are things that you could do within a team, but how would you be able to do that across teams? Or if you're doing that already, how could you bring that into Teams so that people who work mostly out of Teams would have those notifications as well? No real answers to that. Another thing to consider is, what about navigation? So it's great if you're in your teams and collaborating directly, but where would we find that navigation to all different sites and locations, different applications, line of business applications? What about the quick links to favorites that people have, the embeds that you might have done, or the integrations of other applications throughout the organization? And if you have some sort of customized search solution, either on SharePoint Classic or maybe Elasticsearch or anything out there, how do you get that into your teams? How do you leverage those investments that you've already done in all of those other systems and make those successful within Teams? Well, then the first question is, don't we have an intranet for that? And that's a very valid one. A lot of our customers as well have a great intranet where they already have all of these features set up, and in many cases Wizdom powers those features. But we have another problem at play here. Research shows that a big majority of employees waste a lot of time. And in this case, if we add that up and subtract that, divide that, we come to 1 hour daily loss of productivity, just going across all of the different apps that you already have within the organization. And those apps are not just 1, 2, or 3 apps. It's actually, on average, almost 10 apps that the modern knowledge worker is using throughout the organization. So with the introduction of Teams, which is a great tool for collaboration, what we've actually done is we've created another silo, which is not so smart from our viewpoint. So it's time to wise up your publication and navigation with Wizdom for Teams. Wizdom for Teams is a one-stop digital workplace that actually allows you to do several things. One thing is take your internet into Teams. Well, what does that mean? With Wizdom for Teams, you can create a personalized digital workplace, delivering all of the great publication features and navigation that you would normally see in an intranet right inside of your Teams. You can allow yourself to integrate line of business applications easily by either embedding or leveraging an API that we have out there. And you can actually start today with breaking down the silo between SharePoint and Teams. And as we can see among our customers who either were first solely working on internet or now moving their focus back to Teams, it's very difficult to actually to get the whole population, all of the users across these applications. And in our experience, the days of forcing somebody to set a particular page as a home page or loading the browser with one particular internet are sort of over. We see that nowadays users are still to be found either in Outlook as they start their day, or maybe on the intranet, or maybe in Teams. And we believe we shouldn't really force anybody to be in any of those environments. It's better to be consistent across all those environments. And the Wizdom for Teams application is something that we're looking to bring to mobile, which is something in beta already on iOS, but also as an Outlook app, so that those laggards that are basically still in Outlook would still find the same experience there, irrespective if they're in Outlook, in SharePoint, or in Teams. So that would be a great step forward in breaking down the silos. What we do in this is we unify and streamline content creation. That's one of the things that we find our customers pick up as the first thing within our application. So within this unified creation, you can start doing these kind of activities. You could set up templates to request for particular information, to route that to creating new news pages, to new tasks, to new workspaces. We're looking to unify all of those. Once created, those workspaces and news and so on, you can personalize those. You can target those at particular groups, and those particular groups will then see that in their news stream again. We're currently working on a metadata engine that actually sits across this whole experience, and that by capturing that metadata will provide fantastic findability. It will provide governance and compliance. That is something that we've learned early on from the workspace module, and also from our corporate news module, is something that people really like, something that people like to see again and again, and would actually want to see unified. And that's something that we offer through our Wisdom for Teams application. Besides unifying all of that, we can also unify the notifications so that you can support good work routines. So what do we mean by that? All of the notifications as we've run them up until now serve only one purpose, but we're expanding the number of content types. So you can actually start including things like tasks from other systems or notifications and run them through a similar stream. So actually allow users to be presented with relevant information where they need it, when they need it, target it to them, and be able to cycle through this information and tick the things off as they work through their day. As such, if somebody has chosen to work completely out of Teams, these other elements are still brought into their Teams environment. If we then move on, we also are able to unify the stream of news. And this news is something that would sit across all of those experiences, either being SharePoint or Teams. And as I mentioned, also we're bringing that to mobile apps, starting with iOS and following with Android, but also in Outlook. So this is something that allows you to bring together streams of news from different locations, at the moment from Yammer and Twitter, Instagram, and different RSS feeds. But we're really looking to expand the possibilities here and actually allow you to shoot messages in from any desperate application, following a precise format, using our targeting to complete this feed with more and more sources. So the objective here is to get a personalized news feed. Basically create one feed across different experiences, and then within those experiences make sure that all of the news is brought consistently and in multiple languages. So one of the most recent introductions to the application is multilingual, which is something that Microsoft is also looking to introduce across SharePoint next year. But we've gone ahead and had one of our top asks implemented, which is in place translations of these items. So this actually creates the same thing as the variations did on Classic and allows you to move forward with multiple languages. With the news module, you can actually create once and then target many times and schedule these messages. And over the course of next year, we're looking to add a lot of extra content types to this newsfeed, with starting in Q1 a celebration content type. So for when you want to announce a new employee or want to give kudos to an employee, that would be the content type to use. And as you're maybe already used to, if you're a Wizdom customer, the same thing uses the push and pull communications. So there are some channels that can be mandatory inside this. And you can also, as you subscribe to particular channels, so that you receive exactly the information that you need. So let's move on and demo a bit of this solution. I'll switch over to the other screen here. Just to be sure, Naomi, are we seeing this?
Yes, we are. Thank you, Nico.
Oh, that's great.
And if anyone has any questions, don't forget to pop them in the little question chat, and we'll answer them at the end of the demo. Yep.
Good. So what we see here is actually the landing page of the app. And as it currently stands, the app can also be found here in the app catalog. There has been already a number of people asking us about the location of this app. You can add it to tabs at the moment. It would sit down here, which is not very intuitive. But Microsoft has announced at Ignite that you'll be able to pin apps, and that would mean that this icon actually can be moved up here in the rank, and you would see it on the left bar, giving more immediate access to your users. So that problem should be solved by Microsoft very soon. What we have here is
Nico,
yes?
the screen has frozen.
Okay.
Yep.
Now still?
Yep.
As I'm opening up the. Okay, I'll just reshare for a moment.
Yes, please. Yeah. So
I'm sharing. Just let me know if it comes to life again.
That's better. Yep. Thank you.
Okay. So let's move on. What we're seeing here is the landing page. I just show you where the app sits. This is the landing page. This is a customizable landing page. At the moment, we have a couple of quick links up to other items in the bar, but we're actually moving on to allow you to customize this whole page and bring in embeds and web parts from all over your intranet. And also, of course, apply some branding to this so that it really becomes your own landing page and not the Nextend landing page as we have here in our demo environment. If we move across the bar, this is a location where you would be able to create requests, tickets, and guide your users quickly to your processes. So what we've set up here is just a sample of what you are able to do. But this would really be the starting point to guide many of your processes. These are currently powered by Microsoft Forms, but as we move into Q1, our metadata engine and Forms will start replacing this and give more power to this solution. So as it's suggested here, you could, for instance, create a ticket that lands into ServiceNow, collecting all of the metadata and shooting that into ServiceNow. But there's many other possibilities there. Sales wins, leads, travel requests. And it's really up to you what you would like to see within this space and what would make sense to your users. Same goes, by the way, for the bar at the top. This is wholly customizable, and the icons that we're showing you today and the options that we're showing today is just one type of configuration, and it's more to inspire you on what you would like to embed and integrate into your own enterprise bar and Wizdom for Teams application. In the last webinar, we've gone across the workspaces, so I will not deal with those in detail, but this is where you would find all of your collaboration spaces as a user, both Teams, Office 365 groups, and also SharePoint sites that you're collaborating on, so you can find them quickly. Let's move into the news stream here. This is actually a news stream that would be consistent across all of your experiences, either being SharePoint or Teams, and as I said, we're bringing this into mobile apps and Outlook as well. And this is an easy place where you can both consume all of this news and make it read, or go in and create some new news item. So you have some news that you'd like to create. You'll have these rich text editing options. As I said, the content types that are sitting down here are currently only news and video, but we're going to expand the defaults first by the celebrate content type, which is, I guess, a great place to start. And as soon as you've created your items, you can actually start targeting those at other groups of users within your organization. And again, these are completely configurable. These are channels within Wizdom that can actually follow any AD security group, any Office 365 group, or use search and manage properties within the user's profile to target even more fine-grained to particular users. I'll just pop in the word message here because this is a mandatory field, and I'll go through creating it, and then it should start appearing in my news stream there, which is up here. Great news article news, and this will now be targeted at finance and HR. These people
Nico,
in the news stream, tick them off.
Can you please reshare your screen again?
Oh.
Yep.
That's a shame that GoToWebinar is not working as expected. Did you see me create the news?
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
So my news item is created here, and as it arrives to my finance and HR colleagues, they will be able to go through and check this off as read. Well, the same principle is applied here as we label some of these notifications in our notifications hub with different labels. For instance, shoutouts and IT alerts. Here we can configure to just show notifications that are relevant to a user. Same principle applies. People can go through and mark them red and work through their notifications. Same thing, of course, could be done with approvals. Also those coming from other systems, other activities. We've seen that a planner board lives in all of the teams. So you could take Planner or Microsoft To Do tasks, bring them in. And as soon as we take our API layer, which is currently in beta, into general acceptance, you'll be able to shoot any type of message into this stream. So also from other corporate applications as maybe Salesforce or HR applications. Or you might run some workflows that also require approvals. Same goes for the tasks. Same principle. As we expand the number of content types, this would also be a great place to show a stream of tasks to users. And finally, but not lastly, the application directory or quick links within an organization, which this is not GoToWebinar. Show down here, and this is where the user would find any of the links that point out of your Teams application to all of those other line of business application, and they can also create some My Links so that this actually becomes a launching pad that's customizable for them to navigate from here to all the desperate places within the organization. So I see that we're more than 20 minutes into the presentation. That means that time running out. And I would like to move to some of the Q&A if they are there. I'd already like to thank all the participants. Naomi, are there any questions?
The main one is, how is it deployed? The main question. Yep. So
yes.
how does it work exactly?
Wizdom for Teams is a managed service that we run. And it only requires you to install a SharePoint application and a Teams application, and then start configuring that panel that I showed you at the top. Currently, we're able to deploy that in 2 mornings because the scope of the product is not that wide. So it really depends on our customers deciding on what they want to configure within the application. And then we can go ahead and install and configure that so that, well, in a mere 2 mornings, people are able to use Wizdom for Teams in their own environment.
Yeah.
Is there anything else in the chat?
There's another question from Daniel Crawford. Could anyone author news items, or is it limited to content managers?
So the corporate news is something that is limited to particular users. And the notifications, as you've seen them, that really depends. So the scope of this is in some organizations they open that up to everybody. More often so, though, we see that particular owners within departments or functions, sometimes countries, are the ones that are authorized to create such notifications. But there, at the notification level, it really depends on what your preference is as an organization as to how far you want to open that up to everybody.
Yeah, and it's based on roles, isn't it, Nico? So they can allocate roles for people who can author news. Is that right?
Exactly, yeah. So you can have different groups of people with the right permissions to either create the notifications, but you can apply the same thing to the corporate news as well.
Yep. There's another question. Is there from Adam Birkin, is there a roadmap which can be shared?
Yeah, there are a number of roadmap items which have been shared already with our partners last week. And on a one-to-one basis, we can share them. So please, if you want, set up a personal demo. You can see the link here on the slide, and we can take you through those roadmap items. For the organization, I know that towards the end of January, we are looking to publish a unified roadmap that's actually sitting across our solutions. So for some news on the website, we still have to wait a little bit. But if you want to go out and reach out to Naomi, we can set up a personal demo and then already lift the veil a little bit on some of those things, because most of the things are already defined, just not officially on a website communicated yet.
Yeah, got another question. So if you have a Wizdom intranet, do you automatically get MS Teams?
Yes, you do. Actually, since we've launched it on Ignite, you can set it up. So please also get in touch with us to learn how to set that up. If you have Wizdom for SharePoint already, it's merely the configuration of the Wizdom for Teams app, which you can download also through our help pages, and then make available within Teams and connect that up to your existing instance, and you'll be ready to go.
Yeah, is there a possibility to get help with setting that up? Someone's asking.
Certainly. Yeah. Please, Naomi's email is here, so let's. You can ask her directly, and we'll help you out with that. But you can surely also visit the help pages where you can find Wizdom for Teams, and it will show you how to install. If you have access to the admin panel, then please go to the Power Panel module. From the Power Panel module, you'll also find a link to the Teams app. So within the admin panel, go to Power Panel, and there you also find a download link for the Teams app and some instructions. So that's also a way if you have access to the admin of Wizdom.
Perfect. There's a couple more questions. Can the roadmap be made available to direct customers, not just partners?
So as I mentioned before, most of the roadmap items are being finalized as we speak. Roadmap for Wizdom is known, and we are looking to bring that out last week of January, where not only this product is presented, but also others. But if as an end user, you really want to know, get in touch with us, because for the Wizdom for Teams application, it's basically set, the roadmap items.
Yes.
It's just as a company, we're going to publish our complete roadmap, and that requires a little bit more work. So that's only the end of January. Get in touch with us, and I'm very happy to talk to you about the roadmap, or any ideas that you have for the roadmap are more than welcome. So yeah.
So we've got one more question. Can this Power Panel be used as an app as well?
Well, it's actually been designed as a standalone app. And that's something we did from the very beginning, basically already to allow us to take that app and put it, as we've done in SharePoint, take it and make a Teams app out of it. And that app, we've also made a iOS app out of at the moment. But that actually creates a lot of flexibility for us, where we can take the same Power Panel and, for instance, put that into a browser extension, which is one of the ideas out there. But we can then also bring it into a Windows 10 application. So then it looks like a desktop application. And yeah, we're really looking to take this technology, which is basically web technology, across all of the devices, to meet the users where they are, and no longer, as I also told you in the presentation, no longer try to force our users either through mobile or Outlook or Teams, but just have a unified experience across all of them. And yeah, the Power Panel should surely allow for that. We just need enough time to bring that experience into all of those places that I just mentioned.
Perfect. Thank you, Nico. There's no further questions at the moment, but if you do have further questions or would like a product demonstration, please reach out to me. I'm the contact person in regards to the Wizdom for MS Teams and how to get your intranet into MS Teams. My email can be found on the screen. You're more than welcome to write. Thank you so much, Nico, for helping with the webinar today. And thank you, everybody, for joining.
Yeah, thank you for your time. Have a great day.